Welcome to the channel. With reference to quality of the speedometers of automobiles, motorcycles, and scooters, today we shall be talking about lighting and display legibility test. It includes the discussions on various items related to this subject, that is, objective of the test, analog speedometer, what to test in this case, what is the testing method, like analog, what about digital speedometer, that is what to test, testing method, additional test applicable to both the types of speedometer, that is analog and digital, riders feedback metrics, tools and equipment, and finally ink for dial printing of the speedometer. And last but not the least, the introduction to the next topic. Regarding lighting and display legibility test, our objectives are to evaluate how well the speedometer display remains visible under various lighting conditions, performs in daylight, nighttime, fog and glare, responds to changes in ambient light, and maintain contrast, brightness, and clarity. The test identifies weaknesses in backlighting, if any, display material, viewing angles, and light sensor response. In case of analog speedometer, what to test? And that is number one, backlight uniformity. That is to ensure that the dial is evenly lit at night. Number two, night visibility. It is to check markings, numbers, and needle are clearly visible in low light. Number three, daylight contrast. Verify the dial markings are legible in bright sunlight. Number four, sunlight glare. It is to test for glass reflection and readability at different angles, that is, at say 60 degrees or at 120 degree, etc. Needle visibility. It is to ensure that the needle color and contrast stands out clearly in both the light and dark conditions. Number 6. LED or bulb failure detection. Test if any lighting zones becomes dim or fail over time. Glove use and eyeglass legibility. Ensure readability with minimal head movement. Testing methods. Ride under tunnels, shaded roads, direct sun, and city streets at night. Use light meters to measure illumination levels. And then conduct testing during dusk or say dawn for transition visibility. The rider will record the results at the readability rating scale from 1 to 5. Regarding digital speedometers, what to test? Here we shall be testing number one, screen brightness. That is the display bright enough under direct sunlight? Number two, auto dimming functionality. That is, does brightness adjust automatically in changing ambient light conditions? Number three, backlight uniformity. Are all segments or pixels evenly lit? Number four, glare reflectability. Glare reflectivity, is the screen visible through reflections or polarized visors? Number five, contrast ratio. Are the numbers and icons easy to distinguish? Viewing angle. Test the readability of the speedometer from off-center positions, especially when rider is leaning. Thereafter, pixel clarity in vibration. Check if vibrations get blurred or distorted. Pixel readability. Flickering or lag in cold weather. Can cold weather affect LCD refresh rates? Test for blurring or any delay. Testing methods. Use a lux meter or light sensor to log screen brightness. Ride with sun directly behind rider and oncoming. Test with clear and tinted helmet visors. Perform night riders in full darkness. Night rides in full darkness and semi-lit urban areas. Also, simulate headlight reflections from behind or opposite traffic. And finally, record behavior under extreme cold and heat. Now, what are some additional tests which should be applicable to check the quality of both the types of speedometer, that is analog and digital? We have number one, rain/fog simulation. Check legibility with droplets or condensation on lens of the speedometer. Number two, glove use simulation. Can the display still be seen clearly while wearing gloves by the rider? Sunset to night transition ride. Observe gradual change in visibility. Then tunnel or underpass ride. In this case, there is sudden light drop. Does backlight of the speedometer respond fast? And finally, battery voltage drop. This will be exclusively applicable to digital type of speedometer, and it is to test, that is, does display becomes dim or gets reset during cranking or heavy load. The rider feedback metrics, they should be rated from 1 to 5 and would consist of the following. Number one, daylight readability, in both the cases to be evaluated. at the scale of 1 to 5, and the speedometer is to be declared pass or fail accordingly. Number 2, nighttime illumination. Number 3, glare or reflection issues, if any. Number 4, needles oblique digital clarity is also to be rated by the rider from the scale at the rating scale of 1 is to 5, and the speedometer is to be declared pass or fail accordingly. Comfort at quick glance, then backlight adjustment auto. This is specifically applicable to digital speedometers. And last but not the least, reaction in sudden light change. It is also to be evaluated at the scale of 1 is to 5, and the speedometer is to be marked accordingly and declared as pass or fail. The list of tools and equipment required to conduct the aforementioned test includes lux meter or ambient light sensor, GoPro camera to record legibility while riding, that is exclusively for the purpose of recording, helmet with tinted visor to simulate real-world riding, mobile app to log light levels. This is optional. And finally, field test log sheet with dedicated lighting and legibility section. And finally, what about ink for dial printing of speedometer? In this section, we have only discussed the different tests to confirm lighting and display legibility. In the next section, or in the next video, we shall be talking about ink for dial printing of speedometer in detail. That is, the quality of ink used for dial printing in an analog speedometer is critically important, and it directly impacts readability, durability, and long-term aesthetics of the speedometer face. Since analog speedometers rely entirely on visual cues, that needle, numbers, tick marks, etc., any degradation of the ink can impair functionality and users' safety. We shall be talking about this aspect of the speedometer in the next video. With this, we conclude our today's discussion on the subject of lighting and display legibility test. Please do drop your comments and share your experience to further improve the contents of this channel. Our next topic would be detailed discussion on ink for dial printing of the speedometer. Thank you, and thank you very much.